Welcome to the Wellness Abundance Podcast. I'm Melissa King, your podcast host, board-certified health and wellness coach, certified personal trainer, and founder of Wellness Abundance Coaching. I created this podcast to help women like you learn more about your body so you can age gracefully and navigate the different seasons of your life effortlessly. If you're a woman searching for answers to unexpected weight gain, intense PMS, chronic fatigue, fertility challenges, PCOS, brain fog, and more, this podcast is for you. We'll do a deep dive into all areas of women's health and connect with experts so you can get clarity on what's happening within your body. This will empower you to take control of your mindset on the natural aging process and create flexible lifestyle habits that work for you at any age. Now, grab your favorite glass of wine, cup of coffee, or mocktail, and enjoy the episode. Hello, and welcome back to another Wellness Abundance podcast episode. I'm your host, Melissa King. Thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, so as always, I think you know by now, if you've been following me, if you enjoy my weekly newsletter, you follow the podcast, you've worked with me before, you're thinking about working with me, you know I am all about celebrating women. So today I want to talk about how you as a woman can tap into your superpowers, okay? Because I feel like for so long, women have been underappreciated and not seen and heard as we deserve to be. So basically, for most of our time on Earth as humans, women have been super underappreciated, right? Would you agree? So there have been times throughout history where we've been given these rights and then all of a sudden they're taken back. They're like, nope, sorry, just kidding, you can't have these rights. And it's been incredibly frustrating. So while in 1919, Congress passed the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote, no matter what state they were in, because before then, there were some states that would allow women to vote. So depending on where you lived, you had the freedom to cast your ballots and vote for our representatives in the government. But this 19th Amendment that was passed in 1919 gave everyone the freedom, every woman, no matter what state you're in, the freedom to cast your ballot and vote for these representatives, which was huge. This was a huge accomplishment, a huge step forward for women. And over the years, yes, things have gotten better. We're able to open our own checking accounts, buy our own houses. We're able to do all these things more these days, yet women are still not equally considered equal to men, which to me is absolutely ridiculous because hello, we're in the 21st century, people. Like, let's get this together and really show a deep appreciation. I know I keep using the word appreciate or appreciation, but I really sometimes don't feel appreciated as a woman. So now, just to be perfectly clear, I'm not like this full-on feminist. I support women. I love supporting women. I love being a woman. I feel like we're in a very unique position right now. And I do strongly believe that, men and women should be treated equally. And now I am an independent woman. I can pretty much navigate life on my own. But I really enjoy having my husband as my life partner because, it's so much more fun to do life with someone that you love, you trust, you care about, and that you can rely on. And we both have our roles in our home, in our lives. And I'm so grateful that I have my life partner is someone who encourages me as a woman to be powerful and to step into my superpower role as a woman. So I'm very grateful to be married to someone who kind of thinks is more progressive than some people in our society today. So now I also understand that there are some people who just don't want a life partner, and I get it, and that's okay. That's okay. Not everyone needs to be attached to someone. So that's okay. So one of the areas where women don't deserve the attention that we don't deserve the attention, or that we don't get the attention that we fully deserve, is the area of health and wellness. So our bodies are oftentimes treated like small men, which we are not small men. Yes, there are some things. We all have hearts, we all have lungs, we all have a lot of the same organs, but let's be real, our reproductive plumbing is very different from men's. Our hormones are different. We all pretty much have the same hormones, but just at different levels. So, really, you have to take these studies out there, and this is what I do as a health and fitness professional, kind of like with a grain of salt, because you need to, what works for men for food, exercise, and rest doesn't always work for women, and every woman is unique. So, and these are food, exercise, and rest are the wellness abundance coaching pillars that when you really build a strong foundation with these pillars, you can, have sustainable weight loss, fertility, you could be mobile, you could have consistent energy levels, you can get great sleep, you could do all these things with these 3 wellness abundance coaching pillars. So this is why women really need to be seen and heard on a deeper level in all areas of health and wellness. So with that being said, there are other lifestyle factors that impact our physical health, our mental health. So I'm going to dive into a few of these today, along with the topic of helping women, find their own unique superpowers. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is to learn how to advocate for your own health and wellness. Now, I talk about this a lot, okay? You've probably already either read it in a blog post or heard me talk about it on a podcast episode or anywhere else in my community, because it's super important for you to learn how to advocate for your own health and wellness, because the scientific community has kind of left us behind. And I'm not blaming them. I'm just stating a fact, just to be perfectly clear. So this means this is a great opportunity for you to do your own research. So a great starting point is for you to get in tune with your own body. Like, learn how your body operates. I'm not a big fan of tracking every single thing you eat all the time, tracking all your workouts, unless you want to. It's totally up to you. That's your choice. But really kind of maybe doing it for one hormonal cycle. So start the day that you start your first period, or the first day of your period, and then until you go through a full cycle. Track what you eat, track how you feel, track your workouts, do all this stuff. Get really, really familiar with your body. Now, it can fluctuate from month to month, but just use this as a guideline, sort of as like a template for you. So for example, I know like when I start my cycle, I am going to feel tired and crampy and maybe cranky. So this gives me a lot of information. This data tells me that maybe I need to get more rest, and maybe I need to pop in a leave, get the heat pad out for my cramps. Maybe I need to just go for a walk, or maybe I just need to spend an afternoon laying in bed watching movies or binge watching my favorite TV show. And then also, I know I could maybe kind of get cranky. This could be hormones, or it could also just be the fact that I'm tired and I'm in pain. I don't feel good. So this really brings to mind top of mind awareness with how I respond to, the people in my life, specifically my husband. No one wants a cranky wife, right? I think he would agree. He's probably nodding right now if he's listening to this. So really, this really helps you become more aware. Like, I know that we can't always control our mood swings, which is okay. We don't need to all the time, but we can't just justify it because, oh, I'm cranky, I'm hormonal. We really need to do our best to be respectful of the people around us. And it's not always easy. And I get it. I'm a woman. I get it. I totally get it. But just really, really knowing your body well is super helpful when your spidey senses are telling you that maybe something's off. Like, something's not right this month because I know my body. So if you feel like something's off, like, definitely call your healthcare provider right away, schedule an appointment with him or her, and share with them. When you know your body really well and you're really in tune with it, this really gives you a lot of tools and like evidence, if you will, to go to your doctor and say, hey, this is what's normal for me and this is what's happening right now. Something's not right. Let's see if we could figure this out together. So, okay. So the next step, the next thing I want to talk about is how to take action to get what you want and, more importantly, deserve. So this is one thing I've struggled with throughout my life, is asking for what I want with confidence. Okay, I still struggle with it. Just to be fully transparent, I am better at it because I've done the work I need to do based on advice and tips from mentors in the past and current as to how to really put myself out there. So much of this, for me personally, stems from a story I tell myself that I know isn't true, that I have to remind myself constantly of. I know that's not true, is that I don't deserve the success I dream of every day. I struggled with this for years in my relationship with my husband, that I didn't deserve him. I didn't deserve to be in a healthy, happy relationship. And some days I do still struggle with it. It's gotten better over the years. But this is just an example of, something that I struggle with. For some people, it could be fear of rejection. Some people take rejection personally, which I did for a long time. But now when someone rejects me, I don't take it personally. It's not about me. It's about them. And that's okay. That's okay. For example, when someone unsubscribes from my email list, do I take it personally? No. Have I unsubscribed from email lists? Yes, because they're just not relevant to my life and my values and what I'm looking for. And that's okay. And it could be the same thing with the folks who unsubscribe from my email list. That's just one example. So, but really overcoming, your mindset of really not having the confidence to really get out and ask for what you want and what you deserve, it takes a lot of time and a whole lot of patience, okay? So you just have to remind yourself of that. So finding the courage within yourself to get out there and ask for what you want can make a huge impact on your physical health. So when we're feeling confident in one area of our life, it's actually easier to translate it to a different area of your life. And I talk about this all the time in my program, is how to take, areas that you've been successful in your life and applying it to health and wellness goals and health and wellness habits, whatever it is that you're working on in regards to nutrition, fitness, and rest. So when we're experiencing a lot of fear and anxiety, our stress levels tend to go up, what happens when our stress levels go up? It increases our food cravings, whether that be sugar, salt, fat, whatever it is. Inhibits your ability to get great sleep because you may be up all night or half the night with anxiety. And it can cause all sorts of health issues, including heart disease. Okay. So how do you build confidence in yourself to ask for what you want? So the first step that I always do is just make a list of the areas in your life that you feel underappreciated, where you feel underappreciated and want to ask for more. So before you want to ask for maybe something big, say a raise in your salary from your boss, start with something small. So this is something I learned from my life coach years ago, and it was just like, it was a huge game changer for me, is just ordering food at a restaurant and customizing your order, or sending back food that you're like, you know what? This isn't what I ordered. Can you fix it? Asking for something like that, small, where you're not harming anyone. You're just basically getting the food that you want. So, and putting confidence behind it. So for example, I order my meals without cheese. If a meal on a menu says it comes with cheese, I just say, okay, and no cheese. And I just say it matter of fact, like no cheese. And this really helps them, it helps me get what I want because I say it with confidence. And okay, this is an easy one because a lot of restaurants these days will customize orders. So many people are aware of food sensitivities, allergies, things like that, this is very common these days. This is why this is a super easy one. So once you have success with that, then you build up to the bigger ones, like asking for a raise from your employer. So this is a big one too. And also, if you have your own business like myself and you offer services, or you sell products and you feel like, oh, this product is worth more now, or my services are worth more now, sharing your rate increase. And I've done this several times. I've been in business over 8 years now, and I've increased my rates several times. I started low and then just slowly started increasing them. And I gotta say, the first time I had this conversation with my very first client, who he had been with me for a while, and it was time to increase my rates because I was more skilled. I had more experience because I was working not just with him, but other clients. So I felt the need that my service was more valuable now because I was better. And so I remember telling him his current set of sessions had expired. I said, okay, great. And he said, okay, I want to renew. I want to invest in X amount of more sessions. I can't remember the specific number. And I said, okay, great. So I've increased my rates a little bit to XYZ. And he was like, okay, whatever. He didn't care. He was willing to pay more for my services because he saw the value in it. And the same thing just happened with me last year too. I was working with a training client and our sessions had expired. And I said, great. And she said, great. I'm going to reach out to you next year for just a little refresh. And I said, great. I've decided to increase my rates and they're going to be this. She was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, you definitely deserve to get more. Don't ever devalue yourself and what you have to offer. And this is like hearing it from others. Now, you're not going to hear this all the time, but I feel like a lot of people will tell you this, and including your employer. Like if you go to your employer and you say, hey, this is everything I bring to the team and the company, if they can afford it and they see it, they understand it, they will give you that raise, that well-deserved raise in pay. So really just asking for it. And what's the worst that can happen? So you lose a client. Maybe you didn't want that client anyways, or your boss says no. Maybe that's time to reevaluate your situation too. So anyways, so the last thing I want to talk about to kind of wrap up this podcast episode is to really tap into your strengths. Treat your strengths as though they are your greatest asset, because they are. So we tend to really get wrapped up in our weaknesses that we rarely recognize our strengths. And I think one of the reasons we get wrapped up in our weaknesses is because we're comparing ourselves to others. Social media, hello. So really doing a deep dive on social media, seeing people in your field or, like in your line of work, having more success than you, or you are defining that they have more success when maybe they're actually not. Or, for example, if you're on a weight loss journey and you see someone like, oh, it looks so easy for them. They're so good at creating these healthy habits and losing weight, and I'm not doing this. I can't do this, blah, 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 all this stuff. You go down the rabbit hole of this negative self-talk. And then you just, you're just constantly comparing yourself to others. When you need to do the opposite, okay? You need to focus on your strengths. So make a list of everything that you're good at. Like, what are you really, really good at? So most of the times, these are things that you really enjoy doing. For me, I enjoy cooking food from scratch. I don't always just do it during the week. Usually it's just, kind of jarred soup, jarred spaghetti sauce, things like that. But I enjoy like making food from scratch, especially like soups and stews and chili and all that good stuff. But I don't always have time for it, but I thrive on that. I enjoy programming my own workouts. I enjoy working out in the morning. Not always, but I do for the most part, I do. So that's my strength, but it's not always everyone else's strength. So you can't compare yourself to others. Now, so really focusing on your strengths and what you could bring to the table will really help you kind of recognize if there's a weakness that you have that you're like, you know what, I am not good at this. I am not good at creating a consistent exercise routine, which I hear a lot from people, a lot. Which is why I created my guide to fitness for fat loss, energy levels, and mood. That's free on my website. So if you haven't grabbed that, go to melissaking.net. On the homepage, on the left-hand side, you'll be able to get that free guide sent to you along with 27 on-demand fitness videos. So be sure to do that, and then you'll join my week wellness abundance coaching community for free. So every Friday you get an email from me with wellness tips and some goodies. Anyways, but if that's a skill that you want to hone in, a weakness that you want to shift over to the strengths column, then do it. What can you do? Do you need to reach out for help? Do you need to do some research on the internet? Is there a book that you can read? What is it that you can do to move that skill from a weakness to a strength? Okay. All right. So the bottom line here is that as women, we deserve to be seen, heard, and appreciated for the immense value we bring to the world. So it may not feel like it at the time, but everything you do in your daily life is making an impact, even if it's a small one. And remember, the small impacts on a daily basis add up, okay? So change happens when we band together to overcome obstacles and show the world what we're made of. So you are tougher, stronger, and more impactful than you think you are. All right, here's an action step. How can you tap into your superpower as a woman today? So get out there and go do it. Tap into your woman superpower. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. The Wellness Abundance Podcast is sponsored by Wellness Abundance Coaching. At Wellness Abundance Coaching, we help women create flexible nutrition and fitness plans that fit into their life to help them lose weight effortlessly and navigate the different hormonal seasons of their life with clarity, empowerment, and flexibility. We offer one-on-one and group health and fitness coaching. To learn more about how we can help you navigate the different seasons of your life and become the healthiest version of yourself, schedule a time to chat with us by visiting melissaking.net.